However, Satoko reacted both dramatically and bizarrely. She let out an inexplicable scream, ran to the back of the classroom, and hid behind the curtain. No one in the classroom could understand her actions. We never even considered that it was because the principal had entered the room. The principal, however, realized it immediately. Satoko was scared to see him. Hojo-kun? Is everything all right? He spoke in a kind voice, but Satoko was still afraid. It was plain as day to all of us that Satoko was frightened at the sight of the principal, but none of us could understand why. Are you okay, Satoko? You don't need to be afraid. We're all on your side. My uncle is here. Everyone here thought for sure that Satoko's uncle had shown up to go get her. We all rose up at once, shielded Satoko in a circle, and searched the surroundings. I had yet to see her uncle's face, but we were in the school now. If someone unfamiliar showed up, I could spot him immediately if he tried to force Satoko to leave. Then, forget everything else. I'd ended the fight right here. Mion and Shion are thinking the same thing. However, while Satoko remained frightened, we couldn't find any sight of her uncle. Satoko was trembling, as if he was already here inside our classroom, but there was no sight of him. Finally, I realized the truth. Satoko was frightened by the figure of the principal. I could understand that she'd be scared of his footsteps, but she was still terrified after he showed his face. This was not normal. It was made clear to me how much stress Satoko was dealing with. Rika-chan hushed Satoko and whispered into her ear, "It's okay. Your uncle isn't here. Your mean uncle isn't here. But he's right there. My uncle is there. He has come to take me back home." Calm down, Satoko. Did you take your shot today? My uncle is here. Wow. Nee, her shot. What are you talking about, Rika-chan? Keiichi, she needs Irie's help. Just tell him that Satoko is in an emergency. Hurry up. Chie, take her to the nurse's office. What's wrong, Satoko-chan? Satoko-chan? Let's call the coach. She needs to see a doctor. Does anyone have his number? I do. Let's go use the phone in the teacher's office. I headed to the nurse's office after I asked Mion to make a phone call to the doctor. There were lots of students surrounding the office. Chie-sensei was forcing out the other kids who had entered the room with them. I snuck behind her and entered it myself. Satoko was lying down in the bed, still shaking with fear. Rena and Rika-chan were there with her, and were trying to calm her down. I spoke quietly so as not to scare Satoko. Is she okay? What's going on with her? I don't really know, but she's very scared. She thought the principal was her uncle. Hearing that made it easier to understand, but it was still hard to believe. He had been right in front of us and had spoken to her in such a kind tone. It was really hard to believe that she couldn't tell that it was the principal. When there's a dark spot on the wall, what does it look like to you? What? People who hate flies will think it's a fly. It may look like a spider or cockroach if that's what you hate. People tend to sense something they don't like when they can't really tell what that something is. She thought of her uncle when she heard the principal's footsteps, but she was still scared even after he showed up. The illness Satoko has prevents her from correcting those misassumptions easily. What does she mean, illness? I tried to ask Rika-chan that, but Satoko was becoming even more frightened. Rika-chan held her hand gently and tried to calm her down. Rana tapped my shoulder. She was indicating to me that we should leave Rika-chan and Satoko alone in the room. I agreed with her. Satoko was in a tremendous shock. We're going back to the classroom for now. Yes, please do. Ren and I left the nurse's office. My classmates were still asking Chie-sensei about Satoko's condition. As soon as they saw me, they walked over and asked how she was. Let's leave it up to Rika-chan for now. Satoko is very frightened. Please don't do anything to make her afraid. She will only get more scared if we continue to make this much noise. Let's go back to the classroom. Coach will be here soon and he'll take care of her. You called him, right, Mi-chan? Yeah, he'll be here right away. He said to let Rika-chan take care of her and not to let her out of the nurse's office. Get back to the class, everyone. We're going to start homeroom. While the teacher took our attendance, a car arrived on the school premises. Everyone's attention was drawn to it. 3 people with white gowns came out of the vehicle. Eri ran into the school in a hurry. We were surprised to see 3 people show up. It made us all worry that Satoko was in worse shape than we'd realized. Chie-sensei felt the same way. She left the class to Mion and hurried to the nurse's office. Despite our worries, Satoko returned to the classroom about 10 minutes later. She was still as depressed as when she was in the morning, but she was no longer in a state of panic. Satoko, are you okay now? I think you should rest some more. I'm sorry for scaring you. I'm fine now. Satoko-chan? Satoko seemed bothered by the way we were worrying about her. Chie-sensei also returned to the classroom at the same time. I snuck out so I could talk to Eri and his staff. I saw him talking with Rika-chan. Coach, is Satoko really okay? Maburo-san. Yes, she's fine for now. We should keep an eye on her, though. It was just a little panic attack. She's all good now. Just a little panic attack. Are you sure? You were saying that Satoko has some kind of illness. Well, I should be going. Please call me if anything happens. Coach bowed and left without making any comment. It was like he was avoiding my question about Satoko's condition. Keiichi? Can you promise to keep a secret? What? Oh. Sure? Satoko's been sick since a few years ago. She's been getting treatment for that illness for a long time. It was surprising to hear that. That meant she was already sick when I first met her. I'd never seen any sign of that, though. That disease can't be cured easily, but she can live a normal life as long as she gets proper treatment and medication. I see. It sounds like it's under control. I had no idea that she was sick until you just told me about it. She should be fine, right? She was hardly in a good condition, so that makes me hesitant to use the word fine. What kind of disease could Satoko have? Based on what I saw earlier, she might have a mental illness rather than a physical one. It might be because of how she was abused in the past. I've heard that mental trauma is not easy to cure, and it needs medical attention at times. That must be what's going on with her. Satoko has to take 2 shots every day. Since her uncle was bullying her, she forgot to take her shot this morning. You mean Satoko becomes emotionally unstable if she doesn't take those shots? Rika-chan nodded quietly. Really, it was quite a shock. The Satoko I know is an energetic and mischievous girl who was always bouncing around like a Super Bowl. I couldn't believe that she'd turned into a scared little animal just by forgetting to take a shot. She becomes very afraid when she doesn't get her shots. When something happens suddenly, or when she hears a strange noise, or sees something unusual, she feels like there are things that are coming to harm her. So she thought her uncle came to the school. When she heard the principal's footsteps. That's right. Once she's convinced herself that the footsteps belonged to her uncle, that became the truth for her. Even after she saw the principal's face, her mind told her that it was her uncle. You said that she can't organize information quickly enough. Is that what her illness is all about? I don't even want to know what the disease is called. I feel so bad for her. I had no clue that she'd been fighting this condition for so long. That poor girl, Koichi. Please don't tell Satoko anything about her illness. Why not? I guess I shouldn't ask. It might not be a nice thing to talk to her about her mental illness. I guess that's what she's trying to tell me. She came back to the classroom, but is she okay now? Eri gave her an injection, so she's all right for now. She's seriously sick. To the point that she requires a doctor's attention. I realized something in the next moment. Hey, maybe we can have her be hospitalized? We can force her to stay in a hospital even if she refuses. That way we can save her from her uncle. Yes, that's a great idea. Eri suggested that before, but Satoko refused. It's not about her refusing or not. If the doctor tells her to stay, Keiichi, if Satoko doesn't go back home, her uncle is going to get rid of her Nini's room. But what? Satoko feels obligated to protect the Hojo residents until Satoshi comes home. He was taking advantage of her? Teppeis was telling her that he'd get rid of Satoshi's room if she didn't stay with him. That's horrible. Please, don't tell anyone about this. She is not good at controlling herself, so she might get very angry about this. She brought up Shion, but I was also furious about it. I had to calm down, though. I needed everyone's help in order to save Satoko. I couldn't ruin everything by acting foolishly. I had no time to stop. Damn it. If Satoko asked us for help, we could help her right away. Just because she hadn't asked didn't mean she didn't need it. As her friends, we had to help her, especially after learning that he was controlling her by threatening to get rid of Satoshi's room. She told you that he's threatening her, right? Can't we take that as an SOS? Rika-chan nodded slightly. Keiichi, we don't have much time left. That I was all too aware of. She had a panic attack just because she didn't take her shot this morning. But if she stayed in her current environment, it'd be too late to save her in a matter of days. I saw her future when I saw Satoko crying. Behind the curtain this morning. This is the third day. We have 10 times more people on our side than we had on the first day, but we're not going to stop there. Keiichi, it won't be that easy to save Satoko. I have tried many times before, but never succeeded. Really. You don't remember, but you're different this time. I think you're getting very close to saving her. I believe that you're someone who can defeat fate. What did she mean when she said I didn't remember? I didn't have time to ask questions, though. Yeah, you're right. I'll defeat fate, just watch me. A huge crowd had formed in front of the library. It was hard to believe that over 50 people had assembled in front of such a quiet place. Okay, things are getting interesting today. That's Maburo-san. He's our leader today. Yo, glad to meet you. Kamehide-kun had brought a bunch of athletes with him. They were all very tall and full of spirit. Being greeted by a bunch of big people at once made me feel uncomfortable. Whoops, I shouldn't feel so intimidated. The commander can't act bashful in front of his troops. Following after them were our nameless comrades who sympathized with our plight at Angel Mort yesterday. I hate to say it, but I never expected any of them to actually show up. Seeing them all here to support us made me feel glad. They seemed plenty pumped up too, raising up fervorous cries. Shrieks? Kamede-kun did so much for me. He brought not only his teammates, but also people from Angel Morton. I couldn't thank him enough. Don't worry, Kay. We're all brothers at Angel Morton. I heard from the people who went to the dessert fiesta today. The dessert named Innocent Blue Sundae is the best one. Let's eat it together this summer. Keiichi-kun, this is incredible. You gathered this many people by yourself? Hello. I never expected you to get this many people here. Good job, hee. Tomataki-san, Takano-san? Why are you two here? Oh, you didn't know? They told us they'd come at the meeting last night. The coach is supposed to be here too. Sorry I made you wait so long. I'm sorry for being so late. It took me a while to leave the clinic. Wow! Coach, that's amazing! It's amazing! Coach had brought some sashes, headbands, and banners with him. He was so well prepared. The sashes and headbands read, "Save Satoko Hojo," and the consultation center must take action immediately. They were perfect for our protest. He had brought lots of extras along too. Takano-san and Shion handed them out to other supporters. You know, Coach, I loathe that style of yours, but you've earned some extra respect today. You know, I really like these things. Not all 60 of us know each other, but when we all wear the same headbands, I start to feel a real sense of unity. It feels like I'm back at the dam conflict. The people in Namizawa were wearing headbands and sashes, just like these. It was like they were invincible. No one could make them stop. Tomataki-san was exactly right. Even the kids from Okonomiya were willing to wear the headbands. It was like we were supporting a baseball team. Here, Rika-san. It took us a while to get all of these made. Eri? I'll do everything I can. I'll do my very best to help us rescue Satoko-chan. Here, these are yours, Keiichi-kun. It felt like a field trip yesterday, but today is totally different. Yeah, I agree. I figured showing up in greater numbers would intimidate them, but this has way more impact. Bluffs really are important after all. It's just about time. Call us to attention, Captain. Captain? I'm just the person who set this up. Keiichi-kun, you need to act more like a leader. You need to act more like a leader. Get up there and stand strong! I walked out in front of everyone while Tomataki-san took pictures. Everyone went quiet and turned their gaze to me. I felt so nervous, but at the same time I also felt really thrilled to see all of our comrades here. Thanks for being here today, everyone. As you know, it's been 4 days since our classmate Satoko Hojo was taken by her uncle. How can he claim to be her legal guardian? He used to beat her, and he neglected her for a whole year, so he could live with his lover here in Okonomiya. The Child Consultation Center must urgently take care of this matter and save Satoko from him. However, they're putting her case on hold. They just don't understand how much of an emergency this is. Today, we're going to attempt our third appeal, so as to get them to save her as soon as possible. For those who saw Satoko-chan at school today, you should all know she was at her wit's end after only 4 days. We can't leave her in that environment any longer. This is our third attempt. We have so many people on our side too. Let's let them know how important this is. We're not going to neglect our friend. Amazing. This really is the return of the dam conflict. Mamoru-kun wasn't even living here when that happened. It's not too late for me to go humbly beg Oryu-san's help. This is quite interesting. There must be something about this village that brings people together. That's just the culture here, I think. Something like this happening was inevitable. I come from a city where neighbors don't even know each other's faces. I'm a little jealous. That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps complaining about the lack of trains. What's wrong with trains? Choo-choo. All units prepared for assault? Give us the order to lay our lives down today, Your Excellency. Press our demands. Rescue the target. Everyone follow K's command. Yeah! Everyone had that much vigor before we'd even entered the building. They had to have heard what was going on outside. In fact, the panicked-looking people were staring at us out the windows. Well, here goes nothing. Leary pushed me forward, and I took the first step of our third attempt, with the weight of 60 people on my shoulders. We went through the automatic doors and slowly crossed 20 meters to the counter. How will they take this? The first day was just a counselor. Yesterday was a manager. Think we'll get the guy in charge today? I don't know, but I'm sure they'll understand just how much we care about her. Hello? How may I help you today? Same as yesterday. We're here to appeal for the immediate action on behalf of Satoko Hojo. At the far end of the office, I saw the manager from yesterday talking to a guy sitting behind an important-looking desk. I could tell he was intimidated to see so many people. Shion said that this was the day that we'd finally close the deal, but I couldn't be that optimistic yet. To be honest, our current numbers were probably the maximum number of people I could get. So what would we do if things didn't work out today? Simple. I will go to Oryu-san, I will fucking bow, and I will humbly beg her to help. I put up a brave front, but internally I was nearly cracking with the anxiety. But looking at the hopeful, encouraging expression on Rena's face as she walked beside me helped disperse those timid feelings. Rena might hold the very same worries inside of her heart. Everyone must be wondering if we can really save Satoko or not. But today, we were supporting each other by hiding those worries. That was unmistakably our team's strong point. We could never have gathered so much energy and strength if we were alone. That power can only be created when people work together. It takes forever for a drop of water to wear away at one rock, but a tsunami can break it into pieces in a second. The manager approached the counter. He started speaking to me, saying that as the meeting room wasn't open today, he couldn't let us all into one room. However, the head of the office was willing to see us, so we could use the reception area in front of his desk. Since the room is so small, however, he asked us to choose 3 representatives to come inside. I am truly sorry. We hope you'll understand this is out of concern for our visitors, and show that you're willing to cooperate. We were here with all these people, and they were only letting 3 of us inside. I wanted to refuse their offer, but Mion told me to take it. If we occupied the office with our numbers, they could fault us for obstructing their business. I think they're intimidated enough. The head of the office is willing to talk with you today. I think that's the best treatment you can get from them. They're all shaking like scaredy cats. Ah ha 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 ha! Meow! Meow! Meow meow! Still, it's definitely a lie that the meeting room isn't available today. I think so too, but Mi-chan is right. I think they're intimidated enough. The head of the office is the top of the whole organization. If she's willing to talk to us, we might have to compromise as well. Well, I understand I can't bring all fucking 60 of us, but 3 of us. I feel like I can bring a few more. I feel like myself, Dr. Erie, and Mion would be my best options. But I feel very strongly that I would like to bring Rena, Shion, and Rika. But if I had to pick just 3, Dr. Erie, and Mion. If we refuse to see him, that will go on the record. We don't want them to be able to claim that we refuse to talk to him. I think we should make it clear that we're here to have a conversation. It was good to get suggestions from so many different people, especially very mature adults like this, who all have our best intentions in mind, and are very calm, collected, well thought out people. If it was only me, I would have gotten pissed off and left. That was probably not the best idea. Once again, I felt how important it was that we were a team. I understand. 3 of us will go talk to him then. But who should it be? Keiichi-kun, you have to go. Of course. Other than you, I think Coach and Meech... Oh, thank you! I'm glad someone else thought the same as me. Other than you, I think Coach and Michan would be the best choice. If the head of the office recognizes me, they'll think that this is the Sodasaki family's doing. I'm okay with making it the Sodasaki family's doing, provided I can convince Oryu to be on my side. But I understand you don't want to be presumptuous, and you don't want to abuse your own authority, both in terms of, well, how it reflects on the city, and how it would reflect on your grandmother. So, if you don't feel comfortable with that, Mion, I understand. So if that's the case, I won't force you to go in there if you don't feel comfortable. But I would like to talk to your grandmother today. We're having another meeting tonight, so I would like to actually... I'll get down on my knees and actually grovel. I will throw away my pride if it's what it takes to save the people I care about. But just know, I do think that you are one of the people that I would trust the most to be in that room with me. But again, if you don't feel comfortable with it, I won't make you do it. But I would like to talk to your grandmother later and beg her to help us. In which one it would be the Sonozakis backing us. But at the same time, I can't force your grandmother to do anything, and I understand her hesitation. But I need to make it clear to her that her help would be extremely helpful. In fact, her alone would be more than anything I could ever do on my own, even with everyone I have here. And that it would mean a lot to me and you and all the rest of us if she helped. And I'm pretty sure Satoko would appreciate it greatly as well. So, heck, maybe even your grandma and Satoko could actually become friendly, and your grandma could actually teach Satoko a bit of cooking, and they could all make ohagi together. Again, I'm being optimistic there. I'm just saying that is something I would think would be good and would be nice if it would happen, but I understand I'm perhaps asking a lot on that. But at the very minimum, I need to at least ask. Obviously, there's a good chance she tells me no. But you know what? If I don't ask her, well, that's still a no anyway. Even if it's only a 1 in a million, even if it's just a 1% chance that your grandma is okay with it, I would like to take that 1% chance. It's better than the 0% chance of not asking her at all. Because if I don't ask her at all, then that's obviously going to be a no to begin with. So the only chance I have of her saying yes is if I ask her. But if I had to pick a third person, Rena is a strong contender. So is Rika. Yeah, it would have to be either Rena or Rika. But I would have to go... I would offer the choice between the two. I would say, If Mion doesn't want to go, then my next choice would be either Rena or Rika. So, how do you two feel about going in there with me? Now, obviously, there's a good chance that both of them would refuse, but I would see that as unlikely. Now, there's a good chance both of them would say yes, but I see it more like they would decide amongst themselves who they thought would be better to go in. And I think they would do it on good terms. I can't let him think that, since my family has nothing to do with this case. I'm really sorry, but it's those adult circumstances again. That's fine. But I would like to talk to your grandma later if I get the chance. I will beg her. Saving Satoko is our fight. That old hag has nothing to do with this anyway. How about you, Rena-san? You should go and talk with them. I will beg the old hag for help. Though I won't call her an old hag, because I feel like that would probably offend her. I don't mind, but how about you, Rika-chan? Again! I mean, I understand we keep making the comment about how Rena, is able to read the minds of the other people in the game. But now she's reading the mind of the person reading the story. I keep having ideas of, this is what I want to do. But before I even get a chance to suggest it, not that the video game would listen to me, but they go in that direction themselves. Meep? As Satoko-chan's best friend, I think you should be a representative. Rika-chan is a quiet girl, so it would be hard for them to understand what she's thinking. Again, I was thinking, okay, if I can't have Mion, I would think Rena or Rika would be my best option. But I can't really decide between the two, and I think that the most respectful thing I could do would be to say, okay guys, if Mion won't go in there with me, I would either want Rika or Rena to go in with me, but I'll let you guys decide. But they both, fully came up with that idea on their own. However, she's Satoko's best friend. She'd been living with her for the past year as if they were family. She has the strongest bond with Satoko out of any of us. Alright, Coach, Rika-chan, and me. We're going in. Roger. I'll get everyone under control. Mion winked at me and started explaining the situation to everyone else. I do think Mion, again, as a class representative as well, is very good at... And even then, she also has Shion backing her up, as well as Toмотaki and Takano. So, hey, we actually have adult chaperones. Again, I would like to talk to your grandma later. I'll be polite, though. I never thought I'd be chosen as one of the representatives. I'm not a very good speaker, so really Rena or Shion should have been picked instead of me. But I just couldn't refuse when they told me that Satoko's best friend should be the one to go. They told us to sit on the couch inside the visitors' room. The counselor, the manager, and the head of the office were there. The way they treated us was improving every time we came. I didn't know if today's appeal would change anything, but I was starting to feel the direction of fate shift little by little. What do you think, Rika? Things have changed dramatically in only a few days. I have no idea what will happen next. Hanyu appeared beside me. It had been a while since she showed up. Hanyu was assuming that we still wouldn't be able to save Satoko in this world either. She always felt it was best to just watch what happened without hoping for a positive change. I had been hurt so many times after being betrayed while hoping for change. Surely that wasn't good for my soul. I had been beaten down over and over again. It's better to be quiet and do nothing. It's better not to expect change. That way if something bad happens, I won't feel pain. My fate was already a dead end. But, was that really true? I did my best in many of my previous lives. However, I had always acted alone. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their efforts. I was starting to feel the depth of what that meant. But even so, that didn't guarantee that we could save Satoko. This was the best chance I'd had so far. Certainly. But that still didn't prove anything. I couldn't call it a miracle just yet. A miracle is something far more dramatic. So this wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a miracle just yet. There was still someone else who needed to reach out for this to become a miracle. Everyone has been working so hard. They truly believe they can bring about a miracle. Who amongst them doesn't believe? Isn't there someone who's not reaching out her hand like everyone else is doing? Basically, it's because of Satoko that a miracle won't occur. Things won't change unless she starts seeking help herself. I know. But that isn't so easy for her. You know what? Aside from hiding her so Teppeis can't find her in future timelines, maybe we could have the discussion with her before Teppeis comes back saying, hey, if your uncle were to ever come back, this and this and this is what you should do. Promise me that you will take these actions, because it would be easier to reach her in that circumstance. I know, but that isn't so easy for her. Everyone is trying to save Satoko, but she's not reaching her hand out in return. Before they even came here, they should have tried persuading her first. You think we should tell her to reach out her hand? Yes. I know that's not an easy thing for her, but it wouldn't be as difficult as waiting for another world as fortunate as this one. In any case, I'm the only one with the key to open her heart. I'm like family to Satoko. I know she thinks the same. I'm not trying to brag or anything. Satoko is like family to me as well. No, my feelings toward her are even deeper than that. It might be only 1 year for Satoko, but I've spent decades with her. You know, I've just realized something. Heh, I know why this isn't yet a miracle. Why is that? For a miracle to happen, everyone must come together, but someone is still missing. One person is still not working with everyone. That's why the miracle hasn't occurred. Are you talking about Satoko? Hee. No, it's me. I'm talking about me. I had just been observing them like a spectator. I had been tired of this eternally repeating world, and acted like a witch. I had forgotten the powerful feelings needed to change fate. In other words, it was like I was supposed to be an actress, but was just sitting back and eating popcorn. I'm not a spectator. I'm one of the people on the stage, and that's why this play was never successful. In the world where Rena took over the school, if I hadn't done anything, Kiichi would have died in an explosion. Because I got on the stage like I was supposed to, the play didn't end that way. I'm a part of this world too. It's such an obvious thing, but I must have forgotten it a long time ago. I have to open up her heart. I have to set her free from Satoshi. I'm sure someone else can do that too, but I have the greatest chance of success. If I don't get up on that stage again, a miracle is never going to happen. Rika, you once did the same thing over and over again and got hurt, remember? Are you going to make the same mistake again? I'm aware of that, but I'll never end up in a world this fortunate again. The cheap resolve to try hard again in the next world will just cause my efforts to reach a dead end somewhere else, far more easily and in more hopeless form than it will in this world. This is my last chance. If this world doesn't work out, then I'm going to give up. What? Hanyu looked at me with surprise. For us, the term giving up means a lot more than what it sounds like. It doesn't only mean that I will accept my fate. It means that I will accept the dead end waiting for me. In other words, accept my death. Oh, regrets occur, even when we haven't made an effort, I was blessed with such a fortunate world this time. I mean, I never thought her uncle would come back, but overall, this has been a very lucky life. And with this wind at our backs, I think I've probably unfurled my sails as far as I can. That's why I believe this time will be different. And I also think that if this doesn't work out, nothing will. If that happens, I think I'll be able to finally give up. Oh, don't say that. Oh. I'm the only person who can communicate with Hanyu. If I disappear, she will have to go on with her life all alone. That's the last thing Hanyu wants to happen. Perhaps that's why Hanyu says the things she does. She doesn't want my lifespan to wither away by getting hurt emotionally. You see, I belong here in this play. You showed me how to enjoy watching it. But the play won't move on as long as I refuse to act. Surely, that's why it always results in a dead end. Rika? I'm sure that one day you'll get another fortunate life where our uncle doesn't come back. I'm sure that you'll roll an extra 6 next time. A fortunate world like this one, where Satoko's uncle doesn't come back. You're right, that really would be wonderful. Still, trying to beat my fated death is another issue entirely. That sounds wonderful, but it's still not guaranteed. Let's wait for another opportunity, please. Ow, please. Don't say that you're going to give up after this world. If I die, no one will ever hear you cry again. All you'll ever be able to do is make people sense your presence by making noise. Ow. Well, I'm heading back to the stage. I'm going to do what I can. You're sick of repeating all this over and over again, aren't you? I'd rather repeat everything than spend the rest of my life without you. Apparently she thinks this time loop that's driving me mad is far better than having no one to talk to. But that's just how she feels. I want to overcome fate and see what's waiting in the future too. But it wouldn't mean anything if you weren't there with me. I'm sure that's similar to my own claim that there is no point in living past June 1983 if I'm the only one who does. My ideal future is to survive past June 1983 and let the happy times continue like always without anyone missing. Hanyu feels the same way. She doesn't want a world where I'm not by her side. We're repeating this world only because we wish to do so. It wasn't just Hanyu's power. It was one that we shared together. Hanyu wants to be with me, just like I want to build myself a happy future. We both want the same thing. But if I refuse to repeat this world again, my long life would be over. Yet I never refused, no matter how sick and tired of it I was. For over 100 years, I kept believing that something good would happen eventually. However, our power is weakening, and we can only go back a few weeks at most. We have so little time left and change our fate, to try and change our fate. If we kept it up, eventually we'd only be able to go back to the morning of the day I was going to die. That'd be a dead end for sure. I don't think a life this fortunate will ever come my way again. If my time was unlimited, I'm sure that will eventually happen. But I can't count on it happening in what time I do have left. Hanyu told me to wait for another chance because she doesn't want to see me lose myself. But she isn't feeling the time limit like I am. It's a nightmare to die over and over again. Before I end up in that hell, I want to pull the curtain down with my own hands. This is going to be my last world. If this one doesn't work out, I'm not going to repeat it again. Oh. Let me translate what she's trying to say. This world is no different from any other world. You're not going to win, so don't bet on this life. Your lifespan is not as short as you think. You should wait for your next opportunity in this endless June. Stay with me until then. Stay with me and wait for the next chance. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it? Oh. Then why don't you just pray for us? Pray that we can persuade the Child Consultation Center and save Satoko. Pray that I can defeat the fate of 1983. If I overcome this fate, let's do all the things I promised I'd do. Let's eat this year's watermelon while enjoying the evening breeze through the window. What kind of fall are we going to have? How much snow are we going to getting this winter? Let's enjoy the weather. Let's enjoy all sorts of things we've never seen. Let's watch the next episode of that TV show we like. Let's enjoy our future together. You always said we were going to work hard until that day came. But it's not fair for you to say that you're just going to give up when just this life doesn't work out. I'm sorry that I couldn't keep that promise. Oh, I'm sure that we'll overcome this fate. You'll be there with me, Hanyu. Let's look up at that blue sky. When that happens, I'm sure that that sky of the summer of 1983 is more beautiful than any sky we've ever seen. I'm sure I'm going to make a miracle happen in this world. God didn't design humans so they could redo their lives over and over again like me. People usually only have one chance, yet they can still make miracles happen with effort. They work so hard because they know that they'll never have a chance to do it over again. That's why miracles occur. But if I can't make one happen with all that, I just have to give up. I don't need another life. I'm going to make a miracle happen in this one. My friends taught me that. They taught me that miracles can happen when everyone works together. So it's going to happen. We will make it happen. We're going to have a wonderful future in this life. Rika? Ow, ow, ow. Hanyu disappeared, sobbing sadly. She was no longer in my sight, but I could still talk to her. Hanyu, we're going to have a bright future in this world. Just trust me. If you would just give me your power, it might be easier to make a miracle happen. This is the best possible stage I can hope for. The actors on the stage and the audience before it can help each other. If you wish, you, the audience, can change the story too. I've made my decision. I'm going up on the stage. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'll do my best just like Kiichi and my other friends. I'm not going to make any more excuses. I'm not going to wait for another fortunate world. I have to do my best in this one. I'm not talking about my decision to die after this world is over. I'm just saying that people are meant to have only one chance to live. That's why they work so hard. Because I had so many chances to redo my life, I haven't been working hard enough. I was never able to make a miracle happen. In my previous life, Rena took over the school. Because I got in her way, Kiichi made it in time to stop the explosion. The story changed because I decided to get up on that stage. Perhaps my other lives before that, I could have changed my situation if I worked hard enough without giving up. But I kept giving up so easily, and eventually lost interest in those worlds, and so a miracle never happened. A miracle never happened because I was always relying on the fact that I'd have another chance. Hanyu, I hope you can understand, please. Don't be sad and work hard with me in this world. I couldn't tell if she understood me. I assertively spoke to the officials about how much danger Satoko's in. Keiichi and Eri also made their appeals from the bottom of their hearts. I had no idea how the Child Consultation Center took what we said so passionately. All I could do was pray. How was it, Kei-chan? Well, it felt like a repeat of yesterday. We both went over the same things we talked about then. We're still not reaching them. I guess they said they'd look at matters more carefully. Pretty much. They said they would come visit once a week and make a decision 1 month from now. They're going to leave her with her uncle for 1 whole month. How come they can't understand how much Satoko will be hurt in that time? Again, I will beg Oryu to help. Mabura-san clearly explained to them the danger she's facing. I also told them about what happened to her last year, however. They are really not going to consider it an urgent case unless Satoko-chan seeks help herself. I don't mean to cut into your conversation, but is it possible for you to get Satoko-chan to ask for help? He said that he's going to destroy Satoshi-kun's room if she tries to leave him. What a horrible thing to say. They're still not changing their minds. Satoko can't even ask for help because she's being taken advantage of. The purpose of a child consultation center is to protect children. I was starting to get angry the more I thought about it. But as I thought about it some more, I realized they were just trying to do their job. It was just that our opinions differed about the degree of the urgency. We told them to save Satoko-chan as soon as possible. They told us that she should be the one asking for help. Is there any way to resolve this? Is there any way to get an SOS from her? Simple. Rika-chan, you work with Satoko. I will beg the leader of the city. Maybe I might also get some really tasty ohagi. I don't even know what ohagi is. We spoke to them about it. It seemed like they were really listening closely to us. But it also sounded like they are still not going to take any action. Damn it. When the head of the office showed up, I thought I could change things today, but everything went the same as yesterday and we still weren't able to persuade them. However, I'm sure we're making progress. It might seem like they're withstanding our blows at first glance, but they're feeling the weight behind them. We're not going to give up just because it didn't work out today. We're going to fight until they get off their butts and save Satoko. I told everyone that we're going to be doing this again tomorrow, but we might get less people next time. I understand that completely, but I still appreciate that they came today, and I appreciate any day that they are willing to come. This is really annoying. We're working so hard, but this is all we can do. I will beg your fucking grandmother. I think I have a chance to see her this weekend. There's the meeting. I'll ask to see your grandma, but I'll bring it up to you guys right now. Since, it's both of your grandma here, your twins. But how about this? Shion, Mion. There's another meeting for the thing for the Watanagashi Festival tonight. I want to talk to your grandma myself. I will get down on my hands and knees and I will beg and I will grovel and I will throw my fucking pride away to fucking save my friend. Heck, I'll be willing to stop by every day to eat her ohagi. Everyone's like, that's not a punishment. Okay, I'm fat for a reason, guys. I like to eat food. Damn it. We can't give up yet. We might have less people tomorrow, but we're not going to call off our fourth appeal. Even if no one comes, I'm going. Thank you, Rena. I'm not going to give up until they agree to help Satoko-chan. Same here. I'm never going to give up. Thank you, Mion. I'll take whoever comes. I could see you guys from the windows. Those banners must have looked really intimidating to them. Ha ha ha. I'm glad I stayed up all night to make them. Thank you, Eerie. Thank you for the sashes too, Eerie. Is it Eerie or Irie? No problem. I wish I could do more than this. I'm going to get more involved. I was about to give up on saving Satoko, but seeing Keiichi and Eerie talking with the head of the office today made me feel motivated. Rika-chan was always watching us from afar. It made me a little happy to see Rika-chan getting more active in the whole movement. I wonder what Rika-chan can do. The next time I see Satoko, I'm going to persuade her to seek help. I think I'm the only one who can do that. That's fine. I think that's a great idea. I, however, need to go ask Oryu for help. If I can get the head of the Sonozaki clan to help me, we definitely will succeed. Oryu has a great deal of power. If I get her on my side, we will definitely win. I don't know what my percentage chance of victory right now is, but I feel like it's very low. But I'll keep trying no matter what. But I think if I get Oryu on my side, it automatically jumps to 100%. Heck, it jumps to above 100%. Where not only do I get a guaranteed win, but I get a win that's of a better condition than what I think is possible. So not only am I guaranteed to win, but I'm guaranteed to win with extra caveats that are helpful. It just kind of sucks that we're next to this caldera that's going to be a volcano, swamp gas, explosion gas thing happen. Why am I imagining a Attack on Titan giant Hitler? You guys know Adolf Hitler, right? But he's in black and white in this imagination. I'm imagining Adolf Hitler, but in black and white, and it's the size of the Attack on Titan people, and he giant Adolf Hitler comes out of the swamp and starts eating people. I don't know why my mind went to that. The same thing was all in all. I don't think that I don't think anyone could agree with me on that. Like, I don't think anyone else thought that until I brought it up. The issue will be resolved the moment Satoko seeks help. But nobody can say that to her because we all know that she's dealing with the memories of her brother, Satoko. I know how you feel about Satoshi, but this is different. Please ask the Child Consultation Center to help you. As long as you're seeking help, they're ready to save you anytime. Don't be afraid that your uncle is going to destroy Satoshi's room. Please ask for them to save you. But without even knowing Satoshi's fate, I could never say that to her. The only person who can ask her to seek help is Rika-chan. She's been living with her for the past year, and she's like family. That's true. I told her today, but she didn't listen to me. It's sad, but the only person who can really talk to Satoko-chan is Rika-chan. I wish I could talk to her too. But I agree. Rika-chama is her best friend. If she can't persuade her, no one can. If we can open up Satoko-chan's heart, I'm sure everything will resolve itself. Why am I thinking about stuff from Undertale? It might be the better approach, rather than going to the Child Consultation Center like this. Also, I need to ask Oreo-san for help. That's not quite true, although Rena isn't wrong either. We both have to reach out our hands. Satoko needs to reach out her hand too. I also have to do the same. If everyone doesn't work together, a miracle is not going to happen. I didn't work hard enough because I didn't believe we could do it. So the miracle never happened. So I'm going to make a greater effort. So I'm sure Satoko will take my hand. Ow. I can't really explain what I want to say. I'm sorry. Rika-chan is usually a quiet girl, but she talks a lot every once in a while. Just because she's quiet doesn't mean that she's not thinking about anything. In fact, because she's quiet, she must have a lot inside her heart that she's never expressed. We are going to continue our appeal to the consultation center. Rika-chan is going to persuade Satoko. This is the best approach, or at least the best one that I can think of. It might be slow and quiet, but now that I'm in the game, I can't quit until I win. If I gave up, I'd lose everything that I bet on. We're going to save Satoko. We just have to work together. But obviously we don't have much time left to fight. What to do? We're definitely going to have less people tomorrow. In other words, we can't intimidate the Child Consultation Center anymore than we did today. I couldn't see any way to break our deadlock with the Consultation Center, so I had no choice but to swallow down the irritation starting to boil up in my chest and pretend not to notice it. It's getting pretty dark. Mion-san, you should tell everyone to go home now. I have a festival committee meeting tonight, so I have to head straight there after this. Ah, I need to go to the meeting too. Can we carpool? I almost forgot. That meant I had to go too. While it wouldn't be a big deal if I missed the meeting, I should still go. I don't understand most of the things they're even talking about there, but I don't want to be rude. I'd have no choice but to go. I guess we need to wrap things up for today. Otherwise, you're not going to make it in time for the meeting. Mion thanked all the people who came today and told them to meet at the same place at the same time tomorrow. Can me and Mion ride with you, Dr. Iri? It's really far. And with that, the third day of our desperate appeal was over. Hello? It's me, Keiichi. Yeah, I'll eat when I get home. I'm going straight to the assembly hall from here. Dad is on his way, right? Okay, got it. I called my mom and told her that I'd be going to the meeting without coming home. I'd get there kind of early, but if I went home first, I wouldn't make it in time. Mia and Rika-chan and Iri were going to head there with me. Shion said that she was also coming, and now Rena didn't want to go home alone either. My dad won't be home until late tonight, so I'm coming too. Awesome! Though, I didn't bring snacks. Aren't you guys all starving? Everyone's like, Lunar, please stop being fat. I'm like, I can't help it. Okay, we'll call that a video, guys. Slightly less than an hour. I'm trying to make shorter videos. Bye.